Hello there, my name is Richard. The first thing you see in my channel, I used to review cartoon series, anime series, so something computer random. Today will be a first impression of Pantheon, produced by, believe it or not, AMC and HIDIVE. That it's like the two completely random two companies to make this animated series, and this is pretty interesting because this animated series is based on a comic book, sort of like a anthology sort of strip or something like that. I tried to find more information about this anthology book or comic book, and I can't find anything. Plus, it's just an original show from that small anthology. That's it. That's all I know. In fact, I wasn't sure this would be any good, especially how AMC is sort of treating its product. Usually it's a hit and miss, but they're always trying to be the HBO or FX of shows. But always sort of a misfire, especially when going with Breaking Bad and Walking Dead. There we go. I'm blanking out for a second. But besides those shows, this could be a winner because obviously you want to know it's actually good. You have to say yes. It's so surprising because honestly, I'm not too sure what I'm going into first. Now, the animation is how to describe it. It's a good. It's not cheap out. It's more like kind of like DC animated movies, but more like a 52 animated kind of style. But done so well, it's just impressive. But I love it even more. The audio and music is good. Only good that you know in the show it's good. You decide not to show you a fight scene, just let you hear it. You just see a point of view of the main lead peeking on the door. You just hear him fight, you hear him scuffle, but the argument and the voice actor doing their own thing, just that fight, you can easily imagine what kind of fight there was for a few seconds, and they just changed the different scene. Once more, that takes a lot of talent. It takes a lot of thought how to make it work. Especially this show, the first couple of minutes, it don't really talk. It sort of shows you everything what's going on. Like you follow this character called Emily, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. I'm sorry, but this pronoun is called Emily. That she was sort of basically getting bullied, but not in class, not regular, more cyberbullying. Like she's in class and her mean friends, they basically bully her, try to kill herself, doing a lot of horrible things without saying. Just the look, how she looks at other characters, like you know something's going on wrong, but you don't get it. But at the same time, going like a flashback before that event, you have her father, what happened to the father, explaining what happened to her relationship with him and her mother. The only thing you know, her dad died, and she's trying to deal with it, but the only problem is her relationship with her mother is so broken that she doesn't know how to talk to her. They're just sort of not talking, and her father last wish is trying to convince her to actually talk to her, but she doesn't know. Now everything changed in the fact that this mysterious person started talking to her by not text, by emojis. Like you don't know who this person is, he or she, but he or her cares about our Melissa, but you don't know why and why for. Of course, this fall is sort of a cliche about maybe his father, because he was especially using a sort of forbidden technology that saw events that nobody should talk about it. That is basically UA, like it's kind of like AI, but UA is a little bit different. It's sort of your mental state, everything you have in your brain downloading inside the cloud, and that sort of forbidden, sort of no matter sure what's doing, it could work or not work, but we don't know that it happened to his father or this guy Emo who trying to text the daughter of Emily. It's him or not, but I love it. It doesn't explain it. It just shows you that sort of quietness, like how this guy talks to her kind of creepily without using words or letters. It's just emos, and that's the interesting thing. Like you don't emojis. I mean, it's interesting because you're trying to understand the little images he shows to talk to her, and she's trying to respond back to her. But the twist is her mother knows more about this stranger, but she doesn't want her to touch technology, trying to remove her possibly can because it's sort of secret. Once again, you don't know who, why, and why she wanted to remove her. But top of this, you have another character called Casper, who is sort of a reject in his own high school, but sort of talk to Emily, but really don't know each other. But the strange part is that he has sort of a strained relationship on purpose with her own family. Like, this kid is very smart. Better describe it that he just see basically the math on the wall and he just automatically knows it, but more tentacle, more kind of like people programming. Like, they're basically programming and they're difficult programming. What I mean is, her father, well, supposed to be a father, because you find out later it's not really his father, he's pretending, but he's not a stepdad, he's not anything like that. He's sort of a hired person to challenging him to not knowing his ability, how smart and how clever this kid really is. But kind of the twisted part, the mom is involved of this sort of test, and you don't realize, is it her mom, is it not? It's somebody just so weird and unique, and you just want to know more. And I think this is what could be a whole run, because it really is very smart, very clever, and very wordy sometimes, because they do go tactical, like wow. But it's one of those that is super smart, but not smart enough to get you lost. They do explain it, but it's interesting. But I love it is both main leads, I think they're both main leads for right now, are being played by someone else. There are just pieces in a chess. You don't know the whole scope. The only thing you know, both kids, their parents work with a company who are using very questionable technology that yet not known, but this technology can actually revolutionize the whole world. But these kids are just basically pawns for the company. But once more, we don't know the whole story, and that is the thing, it just grabs you. After the first 2 episodes, you just want to know more. Especially if you want to see 2 episodes, you can watch it AMC or HIDIVE, either or streaming service, but you still want to see it, you just want to see it yourself. It's free on YouTube, on AMC's channel on YouTube. I highly recommend it. It's like a 40-minute episode. Well, it's a 2-part episode, but it's basically 40 minutes together. But it's something that is glorious good. I hope this will stay good to the very end, because you know how animation is, especially anime from Japan. It starts really good, but it ends very terrible at the very end. But once more, hoping it is good. But I'm 100% sure this probably become kind of a hidden gem if it sticks to the landing at the very end. Now, anything else about this new series? Well, I think it got above another world with superpowers, but once more, I'm just guessing. The story's not fully told. Just a sort of the trailer, what they leaked out, that's basically my understanding. But this series takes itself very seriously. That's sort of kind of Game of Thrones. I have to make my choices very wisely, but the 2 basically main leads don't know they're actually chess pieces to the grand scale. But once more, I think the best interesting thing is trying to understand why. And it does this, if the show does this correctly, that means it's doing the job good. Do I recommend it? Well, I am drooling over this anime, so yeah, it's pretty good. I still recommend it. Try the first 2 episodes because it is tense, interesting, and doesn't hold your hand. It's one of those shows that's trying to read the whole room, read what they're trying to do, see if you connect it before you actually answer it. And I think it's one of the best anime you could do it. In other words, I got really nothing else to say, just one question. Do you see this? If you've not seen it, I recommend it. If you did see it, do you hit it? Type it down below, let me know. I got nothing else to say, just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.